Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Not Axe Murderers podcast. This is for sure episode 16. For sure. That's definitely right. um,
Mm.
Wait, don't tell me it's not. Yeah, because we just released 15. Or was that 14? Anyway, it's 15 or 16. One of those. Hi, I'm one of your co hosts, Flare Gun.
I'm your other co-host, the Water Boy.
And today, we are actually going to do an IATC recap, and we have a special guest on. We've got a new guest. So if you want
You
to
guys.
introduce yourself, special guest.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer Vanderbeam. My axe name is Jenny Beams. Super different and original.
I think
Before
it's. Oh, go.
What? No, you go.
No, you go.
Oh, I was just going to say, if you could tell us about yourself, Jenny, how you got into axe throwing, what brought you to our world, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. So I got into axe throwing a couple years ago. I originally went to urban Baltimore when they first opened. I think that was like 2018. As part of a bachelor party. My cousin was getting married, so we hit up a couple breweries, and then we ended up at Urban Baltimore and the brewery next door. Is that Monument?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I should be more.
Yeah,
I'm there all the
you're
time.
good.
I should know this. But yeah, so we ended up there. I had a lot of fun and was like, oh, I should do that again sometime. Never did. And then right at the tail end of the pandemic, like 2023, I got an email from Urban Baltimore being like, hey, come and celebrate Pride Night. And I was like, oh, I should probably go because I have nothing else to do. And that sounds like a lot of fun. And so I went to Pride Night. It was like my first time going out, like more feminine. It was a wonderful time. And they were like, oh, you should come throw at this league open house. It's free. And I was like, well, if it's free, it's on a Tuesday. I have nothing else to do on a Tuesday afternoon. Like, why not? So I went and I joined the open house. I really loved it. Ended up playing with Tuesday Blue for a while, which is a potluck league, which really really got its hooks into me because I was like, oh, I don't have to be like, I don't have to know what I'm doing. I just have to make good food. I can make good food. And so I would bring whatever the theme was, I would try and think of like something really cool to go with the theme. And then it just kind of spiraled from there. So now I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to IATC. So
What, tell me what you mind expanding on, what do you feel like your greatest, so far, your greatest accomplishment in the axe world? What have you enjoyed most?
uh, I think those are two different things, right? What do you enjoy most and what's the greatest compliment? I threw a standard 81 and I was very excited about that. I think that was pretty, thank you. I think that was pretty wild to hit that for the first time. Everyone being so excited, and the community is always like really there for you and is really like excited to celebrate your accomplishments. So I think that was pretty legit. That was probably the greatest accomplishment so far. I'm hoping to do better than that. Get another coin or something eventually, or a little unicorn patch. But as far as what I enjoy most, honestly, it's just people. Um, you know, I do Sunday brunch, and having something to just like go to every Sunday is wonderful. Interacting with everyone, making new friends.
Very good. Do you feel like you were, did you know you were ready to hit that 81 when you're at that last clutch? What was what were you feeling right there? Do you remember that?
Yeah, so I had been working towards it for a while. I had a stupid amount of 74s. I got into my right before I hit it. I realized like, oh, I'm at a 74 again, and my hand is shaking, and so I'm sitting there, and this is going to sound really dumb, but I started reciting different stats from Warhammer units. I was like,
Okay.
Oh my god, that's amazing! Oh my god.
so my brother plays Imperial Guard, and I was just going down the list of like, okay, this tank fires, one shot at this distance. This tank fires this, and was just thinking about that. So I wasn't thinking about my axe throwing. And so when I hit it, it took a minute for me to get out of my head that I was like, oh yeah, a Death Strike missile does this, and I was like, oh, I hit it. Oh, I did it. So yeah, that's my go-to strategy now. Whenever I'm like at that 74 or I'm in a really tough match, when I'm like struggling to get out of my head, it's just Warhammer units, just going down the list.
I love it.
That's actually okay. I'm actually gonna try that. I don't know Warhammer as much, but I'll do like something, whether it's like, I don't know, Magic the Gathering characters like Pokemon, whatever. But because I feel like that could actually be so helpful. That is such a like Giga Brain big boy gamer tip. That's crazy. That's insane. We love that. That's amazing. I can't wait to try that.
Oh, work.
Oh, oh,
Oh.
oh, oh, you're back. You're back. Okay. I think your camera just froze like really hard. At least for me, it did. I
Oh.
was like,
Yeah, just me too.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
so you're back. So IATC, all right. So the International Axe Throwing Championships. So you just said that you went this year, but we also have someone else that went this year who is a man and very wet. It's the wet man.
I'm never gonna get the end of that.
I'm trying to get wet man to catch on. Come on, NAMP listeners. You should get it to catch on. So yeah, we're gonna talk about IATC today and how that went and what were your guys' thoughts. So first off, I know we've talked on the podcast about Graham going before and all that good stuff, but have you ever been to IATC before,
Yes.
Jenny, or was this your first time?
This was my first time.
Ooh.
Very good. What was what were your thoughts before going into it? Before
I was nervous. Me and my friend Erica ended up with bids to the women's Slayer series. And so I was like, well, I can't not go, right? Like if I might never get another bid, And so I was really excited, but super nervous. I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, axe throwing, right? But I didn't know what to expect besides that. I was like, I know there's a lot of venues. I don't think I was quite ready for how intense it would be. Like the logistics of like, oh, okay, cool. One of us needs to be here. One of us needs to be here. All of our friends are here, kind of thing.
and for our listeners, Jenny is speaking of that IATC is spread apart from 4 different venues all across the city of Toronto. So I've had the joy of going with Jenny and Erica throwing bows, and yeah, so it was a fun little back and forth across town trip for the days that they had to do events. But that's cool though. You got a bid though, which is really awesome. Can you tell us how'd you get that bid?
So me, Erica, and our friend Sarah went down to a women's tournament in Virginia. I believe it was at Axes and O's.
Yes.
And Erica came in first. I came in second. It was, there weren't quite as many people there as we were expecting, but still proud of that. And it, they reached out to me being like, hey, you have a spot at the women's tournament for your performance there. So yeah, that's
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's super
Yeah.
exciting. If I
No,
Oh, go
yeah.
ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say, if I remember correctly, that tournament was like during regionals, right? Because Axis and O's held the regionals for this past, or am I going crazy? Is that wrong? I think that's
You're correct.
okay.
yeah, it was the day after.
Okay.
They also had Big Axe that morning as well.
Sick. So did you just do the Slayer series, or did you end up throwing skills or anything else, or?
I did the Slayer series in under 70.
Okay. How was under 70?
Intense. I was very nervous. It was my first day throwing, and I was at Portland's, and the floor at Portland's is all kinds of not good. I practiced on all of the messed up floor, which I don't know if that helped or hurt me. Trying to learn like the day of, like, oh, I have to drop 3 inches here, or oh, there's like a cliff here, or I can't throw Big Axe in this lane because there's stairs. I know a lot of people have really strong opinions about that venue, and I'm not gonna lie, I probably do too. I mean, I have strong opinions about everything, but I also have strong opinions about that venue too. And I don't know, it was a lot of fun. I made a lot of tactical mistakes where against a couple people, I really should have stayed down. If you're ever up and you're like, hey, do you want to go up? You got to be really sure in your clutches, and I was way too nervous to do as good on clutches as I should have. But no, it was a lot of fun. I ended up going, I think, 1-3. One of those losses was to Tonto, who ended up winning the whole thing, so I can't be too upset about that one.
Not at all. Not at all. Did you feel your height also was an issue? Because obviously, yes, I've been there too. Actually, inspected the lanes, and I'm like, I feel like my short height, it's kind of okay because I can actually hit the bulls. I feel like I was any taller. I know Jenny's like, what? You're over 6 feet, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'm like right over 6. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. The bulls feel a lot lower than they normally do, so I don't have any arc in my throw. I've been told that by a couple people, and so I usually just, like, as I throw, I bend down a little bit and throw my axe super straight. And so if I wasn't careful, my axe was going exactly where it's supposed to go, which is 3 inches too high. So I had to try and figure out how to aim down, which is not something I've ever had to do before. I mean, I aim down a little bit, but like I said, I kind of crouch at the end of my throw so that it's a straight shot instead of an angled shot. And so I was like, I don't know if, like, how low do I have to get this, By my last game I was on and I had figured it out, but that was, a little too late. Where the next day at the Slayer series, I can't remember, was it Stockyards?
yeah, that's where you were.
The boards were normal. I was like, I know how to throw on these.
Those are both Premier Rule, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
The ones you did. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can see that little bit of error of height and trying to compensate can definitely hurt on a Premier Rule set versus a standard. But you're on the big stage, so it's Premiere most all the time. Yeah, sadly.
I was like scrolling
Yeah,
Facebook.
I like Premiere. I think Premiere.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. Please.
Okay. I was just gonna say, I was just scrolling Facebook, going back to the Portland's thing, and there was a lot of people that were really not happy with Portland's, and like, I don't know. I obviously haven't been there, but it seems like
Yet.
it's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah. One of the most frequent topics of conversation for anyone who's throwing Portland's was, why is this still there? All the other venues that we're throwing at are very professionally set up. They're very uniform. Portland's is not at all. And I know a lot of people want to say, it's like baseball stadiums, right? Like each baseball stadium is slightly different. There's a home field advantage, all of that, or golf courses. But it's not, right? Like if I go to urban Baltimore, there's one lane that is a little bit janky. And it is janky
Which one is
enough.
that?
Yeah, right? No, it's got just that little like hump on the one side. But it's not nearly as janky as the least janky lane at Portland's.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
yeah. Like, if you haven't been to Portland's, you can see there's a couple lanes where you can see with your naked eye the slope of the floor. And you're like, oh, so not only am I throwing down, but my right foot is going to be up higher than my left foot because it's down and at an angle. And so you're like, what is this? Where at least in Baltimore, it's like, oh, there's one little spot that is just a little bit raised, which granted is enough to mess with you a little bit. Like, I don't like that lane. No one likes that lane.
I like that lane.
Except for third. There's always one.
It keeps my feet straight. I gotta like step to the hump so like my feet, they're like in the same place every time. I'm like, oh, my feet are straight now.
Fair enough. But yeah, everyone, there's always the argument where they're like, well, it's, like golf or whatever. You have to learn to adjust to your throws. And it's like, well, that would be fine if we didn't try to have every lane be as identical as possible. Golf has par 3, par 4, par 5. Like, not even getting a like one for fun when you're on these lanes is wild, because you don't get, if I'm on a new lane that I haven't thrown before and my opponent has been on that lane in Portland's the whole time, it's going to take me an entire round just to figure out where to aim, how to aim, and what to change from the last janky ass lane that I've been on. You know what I mean? I don't know. I kind of agree with everyone who's saying we shouldn't use Portland's. I'm not gonna, well, I will die on that hill. I'll die on any hill you give me. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting point that I think we can all agree. No two venues are the same. And that's excellent and unique about every venue you get to visit. And Portland's is no different, being that it's unique in its own way. And yet it's still set up for the same dimensions as compared to, say, urban Baltimore, Choppers, etc. The only difference is there is no really IATC rule set to, oh, my floor does this. Everything else measures out true. It's all to spec. So it's just, I don't know, weird fact, I guess, about it.
The spec is interesting because I would argue that the measurements, depending on where you apply them, it has to be out of spec somewhere. Because the bull is supposed to be, I forget the number, but let's just say 60 inches from the floor, right?
Correct.
Well, which part of the floor are we measuring from? Are we measuring from the part of the floor that I'm standing on, or the part of the floor that the bull's on? Because at urban Baltimore, that's the same. At Portland's, that's 12 inches different. I mean, not actually, but it can't be that far off.
Agreed. Yeah, if you run a laser level from at urban Baltimore, from where we stand to where the target is, it's probably gonna be pretty true. How true is Portland's? So, if you did the same thing, so, yeah.
What do you think?
I
What
mean,
do you think, Sam? Wet man? What do you think? Should it be should it be, you know, should we get rid of Portland's? Should we just have 3 venues? Should the days be longer at IATC or take up another day because we get rid of Portland's? Is that worth it? What do you think? What are your thoughts? You were
I guess
there.
people thought it. I was there. I guess people thought it was worth it because they did add knives this year, which we talked about. So that added a whole extra day. But like we discussed in in a previous podcast, that what are those ideas about? You know, we don't have to dive too deep into it, but Waddle does their worlds at one location. They do everything together, all the skills, everything. And IATC is not there yet. Apparently, it was though in the past. They've done it once or twice. So whatever the monetary factor is, whatever it is to work that out, they haven't come back around to that. But I mean, it is the OG venue. I understand that. It is the original. It is the number one. Yeah. I mean, I dislike it as much as I love it. So I had to throw it on too. So
Yeah.
I decided to do it for a different thing. But yeah.
I think like if you want to keep Portland's, because I know so many people hate it, but obviously it is the OG. Like there's that argument. But what you could do is you could just have like an original Battlegrounds tournament where like anyone can throw in the tournament. It's just a silly little fun tournament. It's like part of IATC, so Portland's is like still included, but like nothing that has like actual not importance, you know, monetary value. People are like trying to win the big bucks, all right, the big buckaroonies. Like there's nothing that's actually there, so it's still included. You can still do things there, but it's not gonna impact people negatively who are there for like serious tourney reasons. I don't know. That would be kind of how I would do it, but I would prefer I think everyone would prefer the one venue, but we just aren't there yet. So we gotta suck it up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
go ahead.
I was gonna say, if Wetman had anything to say, I would think the floors would sink too much. So you don't want Wetman trying to fix the issue. So take Wetman and shove it.
What? Wait, what?
You said, what would Wetman do to fix the issue at Portland's?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, well, water makes things sink and concave and whatever. It's already going.
So you're gonna sink the venue?
It'll sink more if I'm involved. So we're gonna stay out of this.
What?
I still can't get over the name Wetman.
Yep, that was all her.
I am not going to be able to not call you that.
I don't know how you came up with that.
Well,
It's like one day we're at League. I don't know how it came up that you were like, oh, let's call you this.
I don't know. Sometimes I just think in my brain of like how to fuck people's names up really bad on purpose. So, and I was like,
thing.
oh my God, let's go. And usually I'm never like actually comfortable enough with like a person to be like, here's your name, I messed it up for you. But Wetman was really funny and it was close enough to Waterboy that I was like, oh, it's the same meaning. It's the same thing. It's just different words that are more uncomfortable. So Wetman it is.
And I know you're comfortable saying pretty much whatever you want around me, so you just blurted it out.
Maybe.
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 Mm-hmm.
Okay. I had another question. Oh yeah. So, you guys drove, right? You did the big drive?
Yeah. Correct.
How was the drive? What did you guys do? That's a long drive. Did you have to sleep in the car? Like what happened? How was your little road trippy?
It wasn't. I feel like you're making it out as like it's a really long drive and we gotta like hunker down in some bunker or something.
What?
I mean, to be fair, I did sleep a lot in the car, not intentionally, but it happened.
It happened.
I don't do good on car trips. I just get really sleepy. I feel like every time someone mentioned my name, I like woke up, answered the question, and just passed right back out.
I think
So
that's very true.
The drive was really easy for me.
Yeah, it was. You and Erica had the easiest part. No, it wasn't that bad, Sam. It was just like 6 hours to Buffalo, where we camped out with Erica's brother, and then the following day on Wednesday we crossed over. And obviously they got to experience. I think Erica has before, but for the most part, we all got to experience Toronto traffic. Yay! Yeah, so
It's not fun. Toronto traffic. It
No.
really sucked. At one point,
I feel like I'd take DC traffic over Toronto traffic.
I never thought I
Really?
would say that. But yeah,
Right.
at one point we're on the highway, and we weren't stop and go. Right, we were going slower than that because I'm looking at the speedometer, and we're going 3 miles an hour.
Oh,
I could get out and walk faster than that. Like, in my normal day-to-day life, I drive a fucking manual. Sorry, you can bleep that out, right?
oh no. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
you're
curse
fine.
on
You're
here.
fine.
Yeah, you can curse. Yeah, curse all you want. You're so good.
No,
You can fucking say that.
thank God. Sorry, I curse all the time. I was like, oh, we're gonna get demonetized.
You're fine.
But yeah, I drive a manual. If I went that slow, my car would just stall out. I'm like, this is insane. Like, we're moving. How are we moving so slow?
Yeah. Our Airbnb can't talk, was like maybe 15, 20 minutes outside of the city with no traffic. It took us like 45 minutes to an hour
Oh,
at like 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock at night. It was insane.
are you serious?
Yeah,
I think we spent more time in traffic than we did at the venues.
close to it.
What
I
the
agree.
fuck nuggets?
Every time we wanted to go somewhere, it was at least an hour to get there.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm flabbergasted. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Okay.
The shortest trip was Saturday, going to Pickering.
That was still like half an hour, though.
True, but I'd take that over going to any of the other three venues.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question. Did you guys have any issues getting through the border with your lots and lots and lots and lots of sharp weaponry? That is definitely just tools and not weapons.
No, we got to the border, and they were like, "Oh, what are you here for?" And we're like, "An axe throwing tournament." And they're like, "Oh, okay. Do you have any weapons other than axes?" We're like, "No, we're good."
Oh.
And I think our agent was like, "I've done that before."
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
that's really cool. I've tried. Yeah, this was really cool.
Oh, that's so easy. Okay, you guys looked out. No issues there. All right, sick. We love that.
Yeah, it was good.
Do you guys have a favorite part of IATC? One that was like, oh my gosh, I love this.
Jenny, any favorite particular standout?
I mean, it was also great. It's really hard to say. I really like the Slayer series. I think women's tournaments, and I use that as a very inclusive women non-binary, umbrella tournament. In programming, we would just have the like exclamation mark men, just not men tournament.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the no men tournament.
Yeah. But yeah, the Boys Are Gross tournament was wonderful. They always have such like good vibes. I feel like the co-ed tournaments always end up really intense, with a lot of people being like, "I'm gonna crush you into the dirt" kind of vibes, where the women's tournaments are all like, "Oh my god, you threw so well. I hope I throw really well," kind of vibe, where it's more about the community, I feel like. And so that was really fun. I got to play against a couple people that, I have never all of my people I played against, I'd never played against before. And it was really nice to meet them all. And everyone was super, super cool and accepting. And that was just a wonderful experience. And I hope I get to do it again next year.
Hey, that's so
Yeah.
awesome.
Same movie for me. Out
Oh,
of the
you
4
threw
matches
in the
played,
women's
what?
tournament?
Yeah, in my heart.
Wet
Okay.
man?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Wet Man made it a quick appearance. Sam is just gonna go berserk. She's in the main tournament. Hey, is that better? Is that
Yeah,
better?
there you go. That's much better.
Yeah. Yeah, the main tournament, I traveled all the way there to play 2 people I already knew that I played before, so that's fun.
Wait, who
No,
did you already know? Who did you play that you knew?
I played Ripsaw. Chris, he throws out of choppers.
Mm-mm.
And then Fran, who throws out of X's and O's down in Virginia.
Hmm.
So those 2 I knew. But it was still a great time. The other 2, one was from the UK, and the other one, I believe, was from the UK as well. Billy the Kid and Nightwing, I believe, was the other. So, yeah. But yeah, as Jenny can probably attest, my first year to IATC last year, it was all for me about just taking it in. It's a whole new experience. You're going in there meeting people from all over the world who share the same joy and passion for this sport we do. And yeah, so this year was still about meeting new people. I definitely met some new people. It's great. Just having a good time, embracing it, and yeah, can't go wrong.
How did you
Oh,
feel? Oh, I was just gonna ask how you felt. Did you feel good with your performance? Like, are you happy with it compared to last year? Like, how are you feeling about it?
so I went in with the goal. I wanted to throw better than I did last year,
Mm-hmm.
which I did. Last year I went 1-2. This year I went 2-2.
Oh.
And
Oh, yeah.
if you looked at the calculations, I was probably 2 or 3 wins away from making it until day 2. So knowing that, going into kind of setting new goals for next year, sounds like a new goal to do for next year if I make it into round 2. Yeah, that was my goal. Obviously, the least amount of threes and being able to control those clutches. And I would say that probably the best, if I had to pick one part as the best, it would have been my second match was against Nightwing. And after he beat me, we went, I think, all 5 rounds. But after he beat me, he came out and said, I watched your first match. You were throwing on fire, and I knew I had to bring my best game to try to beat you. And I just want to say, you're an amazing thrower. And that was probably the best part, honestly. Even though I lost, and he knocked me to B, I was like, that's so heartwarming to hear that from another thrower. But yeah, looking towards for more. Yeah.
Yeah. That is so heartwarming. Oh my gosh, we love that.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay. So, you guys were traveling all over the place. I have a question for you guys. Did you guys try and watch any of the streams while you were at IATC?
Nope.
Nope.
No,
Okay.
I saw them doing the streams. I've saw it from the side of the computer, but I did not pull out my phone and be like, "Oh, let me watch Axe throwing" while I'm watching Axe throwing. Exhibit style.
Let me watch me while watching me at the venue.
Okay. So I have a small as a big axe throwing stream consumer, all right. I really enjoy the IATC streams. I've watched literally all of them from all the past years, even from before I started throwing. Holy crap. While I'm so glad that they were like, okay, well, let's stream all the previous days unlike normal. It was so bad. It was so bad until the actual Sunday stream. It was literally unwatchable. They were like little blurry, shaky camera with no sound, and I'm like, who gave the camera to a 10-year-old and left it on mute? I'm sorry. It was. I just wanted to watch my friends in the tournament, and oh my goodness gracious, holy big fat poop sticks, it was bad. I will say Sunday's stream was great. It was much better than last year's. The commentating I thought had improved a lot. I think the pace was better. And I like that they did all the matches before that they did the top 30, like they were showing top 32 matches. While I still wish we got more actual IATC coverage of the IATC matches of the top 32, because they were, it was better. It was still much better than last year's. Big improvement. And yeah, I felt like some of the commentating on, particularly the under 70 match was a little, obviously it was very biased. If you guys know about the under 71, so I think we could have maybe, it felt bad. It felt bad. I was watching it and I was like, ooh, I feel bad.
I watched some of that
Mm-hmm.
outside at homecoming,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think, and I, how do I say this? I love Huckabella.
Yeah.
She's great. She's wonderful. I would not want to be playing her on, live stream for the final. If you win, you've beaten a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
If you've lost to a 13-year-old
You lost
girl.
it. Yeah.
Like, I have not played her yet, and when I play her, I'm guaranteed that she's going to just destroy me, because she is absolutely a phenomenal thrower, and losing to her has to be a rite of passage.
Right.
But at the same time, like, no one likes, everyone likes an underdog, right? No one likes an overcat.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are playing against her, it doesn't matter how good you are, right? She could be better than you in every recognized and recorded metric. You're still the overcat and she's the underdog. And you're just, the crowd will never be on your side in that match.
Nope.
And it is really unfortunate because, like I said, I played against Tonto. He seems like a really nice guy. He's a really good axe thrower. But the minute it was him and her, you knew who everyone was rooting for.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
It was a really tough match to watch because, like, I don't know. I was, you could feel like everyone, even I wasn't even there. And you could feel it. And I was like, ooh. That was the only time in the stream I was like, yikes. But other than that, I think the commentators did a great job and I enjoyed the Sunday stream a lot. But other than that, holy, we need, at least it was an improvement because they didn't stream it at all last year, but it was unwatchable. Like, I was going on Twitch and I was literally like, IATC Axe Throwing streams, and anyone that had like their match up on Twitch or whatever, I was just like watching that instead of the official streams. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
That was what?
Oh, sorry. My camera must have dropped out. Yeah, I lost what you were saying, but no, I had heard how bad the streams were from a couple people. I knew one of the guys who was trying to help with the streams, and he said he had figured everything out, to get sound on them, and then realized that the computer didn't have an audio input jack.
That's right.
It's like, look, like, streaming isn't hard, right? I mean, it's hard to do it well, but getting the equipment to do a basic stream running, like, I can take any laptop off of the rack with a $20, the word for the thing, webcam, with a $20 webcam, and do a better job than they did. Obviously, if you want to go hard and have it be as professional as possible, it takes a lot more skill, time, and money. But this is one of the situations where I find myself thinking, is this ignorance or just malice, right? Like, there's a level of, to have it be this bad, I feel like you almost have to try and have it be this bad, or you're just have a negative budget. Like, if you asked anyone in the axe community,
Oh no, the camera.
hey, do you want to come up?
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, you're back now. You're back now. You're back now.
Yeah, I was just saying, if you asked anyone from the axe throwing community if they knew like how to set up the stream, if they could help out, and you gave them, a budget of $150 even, and we're like, hey, here's your ticket for whatever event you want for one event, they would have been able to do this without much issue.
My God, I know. I was like, as someone too with like that kind of knowledge, I was like sitting at my like whatever my computer. I think I had the Facebook streams up on it, and I was like rocking back and forth. I was like frothing at the mouth. I was like, please let me add it, please, please. Oh my God, I can fix it, please. I'll literally use my own stuff, please. Just let me fix it, please. So yeah.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of us like that day. At one point,
And
they had.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, at one point they had a cardboard box that said "Please do not touch," with the camera on top.
That's a joke. You're kidding, right?
The wire from that camera ran into the big axe area. So a couple people who throw their big axe farther back were getting really angry that they kept having to step on or over a wire.
Stop. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't. That's preposterous. What are you doing? You can just. Ah.
Breathe, flare gun. Breathe.
Breathing is so fine and normal.
They need to get their stuff together.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Bro, I would go to Canada next year just to do the streams. Like, please. It was, oh my God. Like I said, Sunday was great. I just don't know, like, the difference is so stark. It was frustrating between like Sunday and the rest of the week.
On Sunday, they had hired people to do it, and the rest of the week was just very slapdash. Honestly, you should reach out to them and be like, hey, I will do your stream for you. Like, because the worst they can do is say no, and if they say yes, oh my God, we might have a watchable stream for once.
And if they say no, you still go and you stream it yourself. They're like, this is me doing it live for you.
That's true. I actually had that thought. I was like, I might just go next year and just do it and be like, hey, can we?
So
yeah,
next year we'll have a live flare gun and wetman commentary on all the matches.
Yes.
Yes.
You'll be like competing against them for their commentary.
Don't worry, there won't be any commentary until Sunday, so.
True. Just better film quality. I will say that IATC did listen from last year's comments about having more streaming and more capturing of matches and such throughout the week. I know prior they did not have that. They would only do final day. So I will commend them for trying to enlarge their recording that they do. Obviously, things need to be fine-tuned. I mean, we can all say it. Things need to change still to make it work better. So
yeah,
and I think so. Yeah,
I was just gonna agree with you. I will say, I will take I know we were just really shitting on it, but I would take the super shitty, almost unwatchable streams, as it's like, well, even though there was a cardboard box and people were tripping over wires, maybe at least it was there so that we can just make them better in the future. Because obviously the louder we are about, hey, we just want more of this and make it better, then hopefully then the more they will listen. Because they did listen, but maybe they just need
Right,
to,
agreed.
yeah,
They did.
yeah.
And
Absolutely.
you know, the first step to being really good at something is sucking at something.
Exactly.
So like, it is a step in the right direction. It's a small, incompetent step, but
yes.
you know, eventually, maybe we'll get a reasonable stream.
Yeah. I actually didn't
So-
know they hired people to do it on Sunday. I actually thought they did it themselves, but that makes way more sense now, knowing the stark difference, knowing that they hired people Sunday versus that they didn't the other days.
Yeah, Sunday was very professional. You know, it was like I mean, I don't think not that this would matter because I'm not that caliber of an axe thrower, but I don't know if I could throw with a dude with a big ass camera right, right off to the side. It's like, oh, cool. Like, I know you said like don't pretend he's not there, but how can I pretend he's not there when he's got like the full like anti
Yeah.
what is it called?
Cannon rocket launcher.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh, cool. Like, gonna throw my little hatchet across the room now while that dude is just in my face, getting every little imperfection and fuck up on my makeup. That's fine. It's fine.
I felt the
only
same.
throw threes.
I felt this. Right, it's only threes. I felt the same way when I did the the past urban opens, when you had I think last year's might have been Trano who helped. Whoever was helping with just doing general photography of all the matches. As I lose my voice, would be right there on the rail on the inside main aisle, and you're just going to throw, and you can see this. Oh, what's this guy over here? Oh, okay, I don't need to focus on him. But yeah, it's definitely something when you catch your eye when you're trying to throw. You're like,
Yeah, it's hard enough for me to concentrate as it is. Like I've got that ADHD. So like I'll be sitting there just being like, okay, yeah, just look at the bull, look at the bullseye, look at the bullseye. Oh hey.
oh, squirrel, cameraman.
And it's like, oh crap, like
What was I doing?
no wonder. Yeah. Like no wonder that went really high. I wasn't even looking at the board when I threw. It's fine.
Yeah. It's like, oh, first, I have to deal with, I have a crowd of people watching me. Okay, I got this. Second, now I have a crowd of people and one of them has camera. Shit, okay, I got this. Third, that one has a camera, plus they're watching me, and that one has a video camera now.
Yeah. And like, you know, during my first match at the women's tournament, my nerves are already so bad that my hand is just shaking like this. And I'm like sitting there and I turn, grab my beer, take a couple drinks, and I literally like jokingly ask the guy, like, hey, how long can I wait before it's the live game? Like I'm like lining up and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna rest my axe against my head because if I don't, it's it's not gonna work. Um, those are the lowest I've thrown in a long time. But like, I can imagine just the sheer stress level of being at the end of round two, and then you add in, like you're saying, all these other distractions, and you're still like, oh man, if I miss a single throw, I've lost because they're the two top throwers in the world at that point. You know, you can't afford any distractions, and we're gonna add a bunch more distractions. I'm very impressed they managed to do any fives at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you guys obviously IATC is a lot of pressure. So how do you guys have any ways that you maybe like dealt with the pressure? Or what did you do to kind of like to manage that to the best of your ability?
Jenny, you want to lead off? I've been on that stage before, so I just a little bit of practice and just go into it and just try to remember my routine of how I throw and just try to treat. I think as I've heard, I know we all love Wanda, but he said on a podcast once, just treat every throw as like it's your last. And there are times when I try to think that way. It's like I need to get at least a bull here to force this, or to win this, I need to at least touch this clutch. I want a 7, but I want to at least touch it. So I think I've been there my second time. I've kind of tried to calm those nerves and just relax and just have fun. Again, I tell everyone that. I've had fun.
That doesn't work for me. That's the opposite.
Quite
if
right.
If I go, oh, I need to hit this clutch to win, I've already lost. I can only hit clutches when I'm just like, nope, not thinking about it. Same thing with everything. I would like to say that I had some cool coping mechanisms. I didn't. I just panicked the whole time. My first, the under 70 was just me spiraling for an entire day. The women's tournament was me drinking an unhealthy amount of creamsicle sour beers. My stomach still is. They were very good, but my stomach still isn't the same. It's just so much acid. But no, I was drinking like an unhealthy amount of them. My first match, like I said, I was just shaking like a leaf on a tree. Because it's crazy, right? Most of the people there made round 2. I didn't. I wasn't super far off in our venue, if only because enough people decided they weren't going to go. And a bunch of people from our venue qualified out of other venues or had bids. But like, I'm sitting there panicking because I'm like, I am probably the lowest ranked person here. And, you know, it's not about winning, obviously, but no one likes to lose, if that makes sense. You know, I didn't want to have to come back home and tell my parents, like, oh, yeah, I went to Canada and went 0-2, or 0-4 in this case. But yeah, so I was really panicking, and I just kept trying to tell myself, like, you deserve to be here. You earned the right to be here. Absolutely. You were good enough. And I'd like to say that helped, but it did not help. Really, the only thing that helped is when I played LaFay. I'd like to think I made her sweat. It's probably the best I've ever thrown, and I still lost. But I at least took her to 5 rounds. And after that, I was like, well, if I can throw that good, you know, if I can hit, you know, a couple premier clutches and, you know, quite a few. I don't know how many threes I threw against her, but it wasn't a lot. You know, it was a really tight match the whole time through. I was like, if I can throw that good, I'm fine, right? Like, I'll win at least one of these, hopefully. And I don't know if it was just like my body can only stay stressed for so long, right? Like, there's only so much cortisol in the system before finally your body's like, no, you're calm now. We're not doing this anymore. But I did pull it together for the last half. Ended up winning my last 2 games. And I think that was, I think if I go back next year, I hope I go back next year. I want to go back next year. I hope I get into round 2 next year. I will be much less stressed because I've been there before. But I think your first time at any of these tournaments is just like overwhelming. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Sorry, I just kind of ramble. It's fine.
No, you're good. Yeah, that's what we do here is ramble. Okay. Well, is there a part of like IATC that you guys would want to see changed or improved? Like, if there was one thing that was like, okay, next year I want to change this, and you could only change one thing, what would that be?
That's tough. I mean, the obvious answer is Portland's. The less obvious answer is the bathrooms.
Oh.
There never seemed to be enough bathrooms, and with as much as everyone was
That's
drinking,
true. I never thought about that.
there was so many times where it's like, oh, I'm sitting here in a line. I have a game coming up, and I'm sitting here in a line being like, am I going to have time to pee, or am I just going to have wasted like 20 minutes waiting to go to the bathroom?
Yeah. Probably the venue with the venue with the most amount of parking lots was probably Portland's at the very end. Pickering at the very end. Let's have the trailer outside too.
Yeah. Yeah, that was nice. It's really nice.
And actually, to be fair, they had 5 or 6 inside, which I think is more than any of the other venues have as normal. So that's probably the best. But hey, flare gun.
Huh? Yeah. What? Hoo-ha?
Ask who lost their phone the most amount of times.
Oh, who lost their phone the most amount of times at IATC?
Butt bound.
So depending on how you count it, it's 2 or 3 times, maybe more. I lost it at a restaurant the first time.
Okay.
As we're walking away, some guy who was sitting next to us, who was already just like, who is this dumb bitch? He watched me fumble so I keep all of my stuff in a mandolin case, all my axes. And so we had come directly from one of the venues. So I had my mandolin case, I had my backup pair of shoes, which is a whole nother story. I tried to get new shoes before Canada, but I couldn't find any of my size. So I had my like beat up pair of shoes that I used for throwing, and my even more beat up pair of shoes that I used for mowing the lawn, because I was like, my throwing shoes are so close to being open toed at this point.
Oh no!
That's right.
That I can't wear them outside of throwing, or I won't have any shoes to wear for throwing. And so I have my like good shoes, my purse, and my mandolin case, and I am just fumbling it like an idiot. The amount I was drinking probably didn't help. I swear I'm not an alcoholic. There's not much to do at the X venues while you're waiting besides like drink, and it's really easy to lose track. And then we went out for drinks and food afterwards, so it adds up. And he's like watching me fumble all this, and I leave, and he like starts like screaming after us, and he's like, someone lost their phone here, and I was like, that's me. And then at homecoming, I'm like, I don't remember what I was doing, but I'm like hanging out with a couple people. Like we're in line for the food truck, and we're talking about like the Ren Fair, and like, oh, you should come up to the Maryland Ren Fair. It's amazing. And one of the ladies I was talking to was like, oh yeah, I'll put your name in your phone or whatever. And like I go to give her my phone, and it is not there. It is not in my purse. And so I'm like, well, I'm gonna eat this poutine, and then I'm gonna find my phone, because one of the few things that I was told to do when I was in Canada was eat some poutine, right? Like it's delicious. I was like, I gotta try it for my first time. Had pork all over it. It was amazing. And I'm like asking the bar and like all the different tables, like, hey, have you found anyone seen my phone? Couldn't find it. Went into all the bathrooms to be like, did I leave it in the bathroom? Couldn't find it. Eventually, I end up at the first table when you walk in, like the check-in table. And our friend Nessa was working there, and someone had given her my phone, and I was like, perfect, wonderful, great. Within 20 minutes, I had lost it again.
No, Jenny, oh my god, no.
Yeah. It was bad. It's real bad. It's not happy about it.
Oh,
I am honestly surprised I made it home with it. Next time I go to Canada, I might just buy a burner phone.
There you go.
yeah. Or you could get one of
Oh,
those
and
like. Oh, go ahead.
right? Oh, I'll just say, by the way, your second pair of shoes are at Erica's house. Just so you know, they made it back home.
To add to this, I left all of my makeup in Canada.
All of it?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
So
what I did too.
I have this nice little travel case that I put almost all my makeup in. There's like a couple of eyeshadow palettes, and some mascara that stayed home. But most of my makeup, like several $100s worth of makeup, because makeup is not cheap, as anyone will
Yeah.
tell you. It is very expensive. Each eyeliner pencil is like $8, and so the foundation I use lasts a long time. It's great. You only have to use a little bit, but it is $50 for a bottle because I went to the store and they couldn't match my super pale face. And so after trying like 20 foundations, this is the only one they found that didn't make me look like an orangutan.
I feel that. I feel that as a pasty white bitch. I understand.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know why it's so hard.
It's so hard, bro.
That's what she said.
Okay.
Just put some chalk in there. We'll be fine.
In the hole?
But no.
I'm not commenting.
No, I meant in the foundation.
Oh, sorry.
Get
That makes.
pasty whiteness.
I'm sorry. I was going off the "that's what she said" jokes. That makes so much more sense. I was like, where are we going with it? I'm sorry.
But no, but yeah, so like I left it all in Canada because we left pretty early. We're like loading up the car, and I had everything else packed with everyone else's stuff, but I still didn't do my makeup. Right, I do my makeup last because I like to match to what I'm wearing, and I never know what I'm wearing until I'm actually wearing it. I know you're supposed to do it the other way, but I have to be able to see it on me. And so I had it all hanging up in the bathroom, did my makeup, did my setting spray, loaded up the car. We went to the venue, did not take the makeup. Luckily, one of the guys we were staying with took it, but next time I'll be seeing him is at the Urban Open. So it'll be nice to get my makeup, get a bunch of makeup, then. It'll be nice to get it back, but I did have to go out and buy a good amount of stuff to replace it. That really tells you about who I am as a person. I think this little segment where it's like, oh, lost my phone 3 times, lost my shoes, lost my makeup.
Well, okay. So if you girl math it, okay? So if we use girl math, then you did lose the makeup, but when you get it at the Urban Open, because you already bought more makeup, it's like you're getting more makeup for free now. Even if it's just free makeup that you're getting now.
That's true.
100%.
Yeah.
That is how I'm looking at it.
Yeah. I feel that. Okay, so this is not axe related, but it also has to do with losing stuff. So I recently went on a trip, and and this was, I don't know what's me and my keys. I've been losing my keys like you were losing your phone at IATC, but we were staying at this hotel, and basically, okay, so I had checked my engine, and I guess my keys fell, but I thought I had already put them in Gabe's car, and I didn't put them in his car. So I closed my engine, and then we were gone the whole day, and I just assumed my keys were in his car the whole day. And then I realized we get back, I can't find my keys anywhere, and so I'm shitting myself. Holy did I get lucky, because they were in the grass right next to my engine the whole day, sitting outside. And I was like, I'm so lucky that my truck didn't get stolen. Oh my god, I can't. So I understand the struggle.
So I had to buy one of those like fingerprint locks for my door.
Mm-mm-mm.
So I was coming home from Pride Night, my first time axe throwing, and I'm in this like cute green dress. You know, like I said, this is one of my first times like ever going out dressed feminine. And I didn't have my keys. I had Ubered there, and I'd left my keys in the house and locked the door. And this is the second or third time this happened this week. And I'm like, I can't go to my sister. She's just gonna be so disappointed in me and mad at me for losing my keys second or third time in a week. And so I'm going around my house looking for any open window. And so all the windows on like the first floor that would be easy to get into are locked. The windows on the second floor, I can't get to, I can't climb. But my basement windows, one of them is open. And so it's that one right back there by the arcade cabinet and the pole behind my shoulder. And you can't really see it, but it's a half size window. It's only like that big. And I'd been redoing my basement. And I didn't think about it. And I'm drunk, right? I'm drunk in a dress. And
Oh
I'm
no.
like, this is great. And so I open up the window and it only goes halfway, right? Because it doesn't go like this, it just slides. And I look at it and go, I can't go leg first, because if I go leg first, I don't know if my shoulders are going to fit through, because I got some wide ass shoulders, right? And in my infinite wisdom, I'm like, oh, I put one arm through, put my head through, put the other arm through. So now I'm sitting like this inside the window, looking down and realizing there's nothing there. It is just a like split foot onto the hard tile floor. And I'm kind of in like a plank position, trying to figure out like what to do. And so then I hear my neighbor start to laugh. And so
Yeah.
I realize that my whole ass is sticking out this window. This is the first time my neighbor is seeing me in a dress. And I am just so glad they didn't call the cops, because it's not the position I want to be in when cops get here. And so it's like, hey, is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I swear I'm okay. And they're like, oh, okay, I'm glad it's you. I didn't know if it was you. I was like, yep. And so they're just watching as I'm trying now. So much more is going through my head, I'm like, I got to get out of this window. I got to get out of this window quick. And so I decide I'm just going to like drop and roll, which did not feel so good the next day. I drop, I roll, do one of those like nothing is broken body checks. You're like moving everything. Walk out, open up the door, grab my keys, grab my stuff, walk back in. All the time, my neighbor is just shaking his head, laughing at me. And the very first thing I did the next morning is I ordered a fingerprint lock, so that I don't have to worry about carrying house keys, because I lose them too much. When I used to have pockets, RIP, when I used to have pockets, I lost things a little bit less because they were physically attached to you. Now it's fun because it's like, oh, I have a purse, but I put the purse down, or I forget to put something back in my purse. But then I assume I have it because it's in my purse. And when I had pockets, it would just be like, oh yeah, there's a weight here that is my phone, and a weight here that is my wallet. And now it's just like, there's stuff in here. There's way too much stuff in here. At IATC, people kept asking, for glitter. And I was like, yeah, of course I've got glitter. Like, I've got everything in this purse, except for my phone. I don't have that in my purse.
Phone, who needs one? Good times.
Yeah, love. Yeah. the losing, the ADHD losing, it's so real. It's like it's all the time. You can't escape it. Forever. Inescapable. No matter what it is. Oh my gosh,
If you,
there was one league night. I was like freaking out. I was one of the last ones to leave. Tuesday green, right? Okay, I'm running around. I'm like searching everywhere. I couldn't find my glasses. Okay, I'm like tweaking, and I'm like, CJ, do you know where my glasses are? And then he just looks at me, and I'm like, CJ, why are you silent? And then he goes, "You're joking, right?" And I'm like, no, CJ, where am I? Have you seen them? Like, I can't find them anywhere. And they were on my head the whole
yeah,
time. Yeah.
Oh, Sam.
yeah. I've also done the fun thing where I leave my axes at Urban all the time. Like,
Oh.
I have friends who will just like drop them off at my house sometimes and just be like, "Hey, you left these here again," and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. That's cool. It's not like I need these.
Oh. Oh.
It's not like they're easy to forget. You know, they're large, brightly colored."
Did you also have red heart sunglasses too?
Yes, I do. Yeah,
Okay, those are at Erica's as well.
I was wondering where they were. I, yeah,
Oh man. That's so funny.
You have a pile. It's small, but a pile.
yeah. I think my posters are there too.
They are. Yep.
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah. This is why I always really try and travel light, because if I don't, things don't come back. If I do, things don't come back, but at least less doesn't come back.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yes.
I unfortunately I'm usually pretty good about when I travel and forget stuff, but that's because I'll like bring everything in the kitchen sink and I'm like, I'm going away for 2 days. Here's my 85,000 bags. So then I like have to check everything like 10 times before I leave because I'm like, well, I brought so much stuff that, maybe if I left something I didn't even notice. So if you check 10 times, you'll probably get everything, maybe, if you're lucky.
My my ex, when we would go places, would have like she would only take 2 bags, but one of them you could fit me in. And so I got in the habit of I have these like comic book long boxes.
Oh, yes, I have those
I mean,
too.
yeah. And so I have a couple extra that don't have comics in them yet.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, I do like the subscription thing where they just mail them to my house so that I don't have to worry about missing
Oh.
a week.
Mm-mm.
And that's dangerous because you have like a busy month or two, or the last 6 months of my life, and the to be read pile is just like above your head, and you're like, I'm never gonna read these, am I? Like now it's stressful. But I have some comic book long boxes that I use for traveling. It's like you just tightly fold your clothes and stick them in there, and it is so compact and nice, and just they just slide in. And so I usually use one or two of those, and then if I'm taking my computer, I'll put it in a backpack because that's a little bit safer. So I'm not gonna just put my computer in a long box with, you know, no padding
Yeah.
or anything. But yeah, I did a backpack and a long box for all of my stuff, which I was very, very happy with.
That's actually so smart. I've never even considered like using the long boxes for travel. That's like kind of genius. Love that. We love that idea. That's great.
Thank you.
Side note, so you know where our glasses. I could be seeing things. But behind you, Jenny, is that a pinball
Yeah.
machine? Okay.
It is, yes.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Nice.
there's a Star Wars
That one.
pinball
Yep.
machine. The arcade cabinet me and my dad built.
Nice.
And then, you know, yeah, that's my basement. I'm a nerd. Uh,
What's the theme on the pinball machine? Or the
yes, the pinball machine is Star Wars.
Okay. Oh, you said that. My bad.
Yeah,
Yeah. Nice.
it's one of those arcade 1-up ones. So there's like
Mhm.
8 or 9 different Star Wars tables in it.
Oh, cool.
That's usually my like, if I have like 30 minutes to kill, I just play some pinball and de-stress a little bit.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That's nice. I'm not totally blind. I can see that. Yes. Shut up, Sarah.
I didn't say anything,
Yeah, you laughed at me.
but you were laughing too. I was laughing with you.
Uh-huh. I know you are.
I also wear glasses. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
I was gonna say I also wear glasses, but that would just sound really. I wear contacts, so I do wear glasses. But if I just said it without context, I would just look like an asshole.
So what's next for you, Jenny? What do you got? Like any tournament plans? Any cool axe plans? You know, gonna accelerate the competition. I don't know.
Accelerate.
So right now, all of my focus is on a video game convention that's coming up. Actually,
Cool.
I know that's not axe related, but that is next weekend. I'm showing my game at Too Many Games in, I think it's right outside of Philly somewhere. I should really know the address a little bit better by now. So I'm really excited about that. And then after that is the Urban Open. So once I have a little bit more free time, I'm going to be practicing a lot for doubles. The Jones Cup is coming up, and me and my buddy Nolan are gonna compete. We're still thinking of team names right now. We're going with End My Axe, unless we can come up with something cooler, which is gonna be really fun. But it also means I should probably learn how to throw to the left of a bull. It being urban rules is gonna be tough. I
Wait,
can
is
I
the
can
Jones
throw.
Cup urban rules? Did they change it this year?
Is it not urban rules?
I haven't looked. I don't know.
Yeah, I had asked Alan, and he was like, "I don't know. It's an urban event. It's probably urban rules." Uh, but yeah, if it's not standard, my left bulls have to be really tight. I mean, honestly, I got to tighten up my bulls anyway uh, for Premiere because I've earned the golden toilet this year. Not this year, this season. Mostly because my bull's eye rate actually stayed the same. My clutch rate dropped a bit. I couldn't find clutches the first half of the season. The last half of the season, I could find them. But first half of the season, I think I went like 3 nights without hitting a single clutch, which was devastating to the ego.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing's worse than like you throw really solid bulls the whole game and the whole night, and then your average is still below what it should be because you're like, not a single clutch here. So yeah, I'm gonna be really focusing on getting ready for the Urban Open. That's a really nice tournament. I'm really excited to see everyone who comes down for it, and I just kind of want to. I don't even know if I'm doing the main tournament. I don't know if tickets are still open for that. I haven't signed up for it, but I'm doing the Swiss and the doubles, so I'm really excited.
Okay, I just checked because I was curious. The Jones Cup is Premier rules.
Oh, dang!
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it says right here. Jones Cup, all rounds will be scored under IATF Premier rules.
Okay, that is the first Premier doubles event that I've seen. I think.
I think, was it Premier last year? Oh my gosh, I threw in it last year. I don't even remember, bruh.
Gosh, Sam.
I'm
Bruh,
sorry.
come on, bruh.
I know, big bruh. Big bruh.
Yeah, I mean, that just pushes the need to get my left bulls tight as anything by then because I was thinking they got to be tight, but I'd still have like a shot at a 4 if I screw up. But the only good thing is hopefully, hopefully Premier Rules hurts everyone else as much as it's going to hurt me, right?
True. Oh, did you guys know that the Urban Open this year, the Urban Open is urban opening these nuts?
You've been waiting to say that, haven't you? How long have you been waiting to say that?
Maybe 5 minutes too long.
I mean, I appreciate it. That's good. You got both of us.
You should make your own logo for this year's event based around that.
Urban opening up these nuts.
Yeah, it's a can of nuts, and it has the pull tab, and you're opening up these nuts. It can be salted or roast. I don't know. It can be what.
Oh my god! Don't tempt me. I have the power to do this and hand these out at the Urban Open, and I think that would be really funny. So
right?
I mean, I think you should definitely do that. I know I'm gonna probably be making a shirt and an axe for it, but I think Urban Open stickers is an amazing idea, and I would highly recommend you do that. I would laugh the whole time.
Yeah, you should.
Okay. We could. Oh my gosh! You know what we should do? Since we should make words are hard. I'm sorry. We should make little goodie bags that are like since Urban Open is like NAMP home turf. We should make little NAMP like sticker goodie bags. So they have like the NAMP sticker, and then they have the co-host stickers, and then they also have the Urban Open sticker.
I like that.
Yeah,
we're doing it.
Okay.
I think you guys should really do that. Yeah, let me know if there's anything that can help with that. That sounds really fun.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Sorry, we got so distracted. But your video.
Every time we do.
Your show. Video game. You're making a video game? That's so sick.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It is a 2D platform fighter set in the zombie-infested city of Ashcroft. The story mode is a Metroidvania where each character starts in a different location in the city, and you're trying to escape the city before 1 hour real-world time. After that, a bomb drops, destroying the city and everyone in it. So it doesn't matter how many lives you have at that point. It's just over. You got nuked. You're done. There's an arcade mode where you go through a series of like different challenges, both fighting like bosses and enemy characters as well as like platforming events. And then there's a versus mode where you and a friend, you and an enemy, you and a computer, beat the crap out of each other and see who wins. It is up for. It's been nominated for Best Fighter at Too Many Games next weekend. So I got my fingers crossed. I'm really excited about it. I burn the candle at both ends, obviously. It's very much some days I'm just like, I do too much. But like axe throwing is what keeps me sane. Making the game is a passion. I can't really not do it. But I work at a computer all day for work, and then I work at a computer all night for my video game. And so I'm like, I got to do something that isn't this, or my eyes will bleed.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm like, the screen zombie brainworms are real. They like, you ever feel like the screen, like the claws out of the screen come out, and then they like physically grab your eyeballs, and then they're trying to rip them out because you're looking at the screen so long? Yeah.
Yes. There are so many projects that I've like thought about starting because of that, and then I've had to be like, no, I can't spend any more time in front of a computer. Like, I've really wanted to do a podcast for like game design, and to discuss things like diversity in game design, specifically with like indie developers. Because if you're a AAA studio, right, you can afford to do whatever you want. You just say, hey, this is what we're doing. We're going to hire people. We're going to make it happen. But if you're an indie developer like me, and your budget is the shoes you are wearing, right? Like, I have to hire voice actors. Well, hiring a good professional voice actor takes a lot of money. Doing as many voices as I possibly can is free, which is why I voice way too much shit. Hiring your friends is still expensive, but at least it's less expensive than hiring like, you know, really established voice actors, you know? My ex did a voice, one of my cousins did a voice, and my buddy Nolan from Sunday Brunch, who I'm doing doubles with, has done a couple of voices, and he is phenomenal. He is absolutely phenomenal. I'm really happy with the voices that he's done. But like, you know, that's one of those things where like I would like to discuss, you know, that kind of stuff. But I'm like, I can't justify another like 10 hours a week in front of a computer. The amount of like digital art that I'm like, oh, it'd be really cool. I really want to draw this. I really want to develop this, or this is a really cool side project that I have to like tear myself away from, because if I let myself get started on another project, it'll never end. And then I'll have, you know, a second job in addition to my axe throwing social life, which is I spend a lot of time axe throwing. I should probably spend a little less time axe throwing. I think we can all probably relate to that.
You can never spend enough time axe throwing. Never, 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 never.
I mean, I agree with that. My bank account doesn't agree with that, but I agree with that personally.
You know, bank account. We make. Who says that we make smart decisions here? You know, it's fine. It's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. But it's not.
Yeah. No, I get that. I'm constantly trying to think of like ways to finance my axe throwing. I used to make resin dice. I still do, but I used to too. And that was the thing I used to sell all the time. And that was really fun. I've started messing around with laser engraving my axes, and I'm like, oh, I could probably sell some of these if I ever get good at it. And I'm like, that seems dangerous. That's an easy way for me to just spend so much money. And it'll be like, oh yeah, I like it would start simple. It'd start with like me being like, oh yeah, I made a bunch of axe gangs, you know, just they're like $30 each, sell them for a little bit more with a cool design on the logo. Not logo, cool design on the head. Like, oh, this is awesome. And then next thing you know, I'd be like, well, you know, I got some custom handles for this because like the head looks so cool, it couldn't not be on a badass handle. And then that would quickly go into, oh, I'm making custom handles because I wanted to be able to, you know, make them myself. And the next thing you know, it's going to be like, Jenny, weren't you working on a video game? Yeah, technically.
Got a little sidetracked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
I'm in like the process of like also maybe starting to do something kind of with like axe stuff, and I'm like, what am I doing? But at the same time I'm like, it's fine. You know, it'll be fine. And it's not gonna destroy my whole life. It's so normal and fine.
Yeah. Yeah. That I think that's the ADHD, right? Where you're like, I'm gonna have all the hobbies and I'm gonna be as good as possible at all the hobbies, and then all of a sudden you realize that one of those hobbies has consumed your life, and you're just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That
I, it literally it's like a cycle. Like I go through it like every few years, and I'm like, and I get a new hobby, and then it's like my whole life, and then I'm like, oh well, I still do this hobby, but then it just shifts to another one that's my whole life, and I'm still trying to do all the other ones that I still had, and I'm like, there's so many I can't do. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Whoopsies.
Little whoopsies.
Yeah.
A little.
That's one of the reasons, like my big deep dark secret is I don't play a lot of video games anymore. which I should, right? Like as a game developer, I should be playing like all the new games and like really like keeping up with it. I play like Balatro, and even that has gotten so addicting that like I'll be sitting there like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing something, but I'm on level 7. Like I everyone's like, oh, you got to get this like new Final Fantasy game that came out, and I'm like, cool. I know it says 80 hours, but I don't have 80 hours. But also, it's gonna take me way more than 80 hours because I'm not good at those games. I'm not good at those games at all. And I'm gonna be sitting there, like I don't smoke, but in my my mental image, I'm always just like chain smoking, you know. So I'm gonna be like sitting there like chain smoking like a bottle of whiskey at like 4 a.m. being like, just have to beat this goddamn boss before I have to go to work tomorrow. Like,
Yeah, that's literally part of the reason I can't play too many video games, because then I get so wrapped up. Like I don't even like when Baldur's Gate 3 came out, perfect example. I was gone. I was not present. And the only reason I really don't play it now is because my PC can't super handle it that well anymore. So I'm like grateful, but I'm so sad about it because I need like a new graphics card. So it's like a win loss, but I'm like looking at like my 400 hours being like, well, it's only 400. Like it's so fine and normal.
I don't even want to look and see like the Steam stats for what are your most played games. If I looked at the Galactic Civilization series, it's going to be in the thousands. It's going to be hopefully no more than 10,000, but it could easily be that. When I was younger, I got into Civilization 4. I was in high school, and I've not told this story where my parents can hear it because they'd be very disappointed in me. But I would wake up from school with keyboard face, right? Like I would literally have the keyboard imprinted into my face because I would fall asleep at my computer. I would go to class and I would try and do all of my like homework during class so I could turn it in at the end of class. And during lunch, I'd always tell myself I could do my history work because history was right after lunch, right? I have half an hour to do it. It's perfect. I would never end up doing it. I would go home, be like, oh, I really need to get on top of my schoolwork, but I got to finish this match. Play the rest of that match of regular Civilization 4, and then mom would call me up for dinner. I'd eat dinner, go back down, be like, well, it's still early. I don't have that much homework. I'm gonna start a new game, and then I'll do homework around like 8 or so. And I would wake up the next morning, keyboard imprinted on my face,
Oh no.
and just rinse and repeat. And so it's the end of the first quarter, and that class was awesome. I loved that class. There's so many good stories about it. But it's the end of the first quarter, and my history professor, Coach Boyle, is handing out all these like pre-report cards, like interim reports, so that you knew what you're getting on a report card and it wouldn't be like a surprise. And if there's anything that needed to be changed, you still had like a day to debate it with him. And so I get it. I look at it. I look at him. I look at it and go, there's got to be something wrong here. And he's like, Jenny, this is the grade that you earned. And I was like, it's a 7, coach. It's a 7. I must have done more than that. He's like, you haven't turned in a single assignment this entire semester. And I was like, that's a problem. I was like, I'm going to talk to you after class. He's like, okay. And so after class, as everyone leaves, I go up to him and go, Coach, we have a problem here. He's like, I don't have a problem. You have a problem. And I was like, no, Coach, like, you don't understand the level of a problem we have. If I failed with like a 59 or a 57, that would be something. If I got a D in your class, my mom would be upset, but would be just mad at me. But when I go home and get my mom to sign a 7%, She's going to be furious. And she's going to be mad at me, she's going to be more mad at you and the school system. She's going to come in here and she's going to be raging. What kind of system has failed my child so bad that they got a 7%? Did you not see that they were struggling? Did you not see that they did not turn in a single assignment? Did you not ask them why they haven't turned in a single paper this entire, 4 months, 3 months, however long a fucking semester is? And he just looked at me, looked down and went, yeah, you're probably right. And I was like, yeah. I was like, so what are we going to do about this? He's like, what do you mean? And I was like, look, as much as you don't want me to bring this to my mom, I don't want it more. I'm like, if I have to show my mom the 7%, I'm going to die. I am going to be grounded until I'm 35. It's going to be bad. She's just going to dig a hole in the backyard, and that's where I'm going to live. I was like, so what are we doing? He's like, well, I have all the assignments in a pile back there. He's like, I just put them in here in case someone's absent. You can just come find which ones you're missing. I was like, cool. I'm just going to take that whole pile. It's like, okay. He's like, I don't think you're going to get enough done. I was like, oh, I'm going to get enough done. I literally went home, grabbed my civilization disc, and just cracked it in half, put it in the trash, and went, never playing that again. And sat there and just half-assed every assignment. If I knew the answer or knew close enough the answer, I wrote it down. If I didn't know the answer, I put it off to the side and went to the next one until I got all the answers that I knew or was sure that I would get some points for, did them. Then I went back and tried to figure out the ones. I did not sleep that night. The next morning, I get to his class and he can tell that I am just fucking exhausted, right? There's nothing there. My eyes are glassed over. And I go, hey, coach, I did all your work. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, here you go. Plopped down like a pile that big. He looks at it and he goes, how's the C sound? I went, sounds amazing. He goes, cool. Don't ever do this again.
No, you don't do this again.
Right?
Oh, man.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't play Civilization anymore. But, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, it sounds like if you're having trouble playing Baldur's Gate, you should just come play D&D so you don't need a computer.
Oh my goodness. No, I love D&D. I'm a huge D&D nerd, which is why I love UG3 so much. I am forever DM. I literally have a suitcase for when I DM that I carry. It's like a little mini rolly suitcase. I have all my books. It can fit my map books. I can put the little mini bags on top, and my dice bag goes on top, and I tie it to the handle. It's actually a problem. The amount of Critical Role posters that I'm looking at right now, I'm a little, ask me about Dungeons and Dragons and I will go on about forever. I'll not shut up.
I'm the same way. I'm also pretty much forever DM. You can't see it, but in my basement, I have a giant table that I built specifically for D&D. I have one of those TVs with the plexiglass over it.
Sorry.
So that you can just plug your laptop in and throw the maps up. I've got UV lights overhead so that all the miniatures glow when you put the fluorescent paint on them. I have smoke machines.
What?
I have a couple. I don't know if I've made it to 1,000 yet, but I have a couple 100 minis. I have more minis than I would like to admit that I have, honestly. I've been playing Heroescape since I was real young, so I've got almost every Heroescape miniature ever made, plus a bunch of miniatures for D&D or Warhammer. I've got a 3D printer. It's a problem at this point. I'm just like, what am I going to do with my weekend? Well, I'm going to 3D print a bunch of miniatures, paint it one of them, and just plan the next D&D session. It's great. I love D&D. It is.
That's awesome.
fantastic. I need to play more than I do, honestly.
Oh my gosh, that is so sick. I love that. I also need to play more than I do because it's so okay, every time though, here's my rant, here's my little tangent. Every time I'm in a game that I'm not the DM, the campaign fizzles out so fast because people just don't know how to schedule and like don't get me wrong, I will go up people's assholes and be like, give me your fucking schedule. I'm gonna crawl up your rectum until you give me your schedule and we plan this. So like
Yeah.
yeah, but then and then it always falls apart. And then I had this one game where there was like breakup drama, and I'm like, we can't even. I'm like, why? People just play the little silly fantasy game. We can do it for once a month. I'm just gonna shake you until you explode so we can play the little silly fantasy game.
I do a lot of one shots because of that.
Mm-hmm.
The problem being, I currently play with this one group who, at some point, all of them threw out of Urban Baltimore. Though I think this season I'm the only one still throwing out of Urban Baltimore. But we play pretty regularly. But once you get past like the first couple months, everyone starts going like, oh, okay, like this is a thing we do. Well, we can push it off a little bit. Or, well, there's something else, or, I'm not feeling good, which I mean is a valid reason, right? They're all valid reasons. But scheduling just gets, the longer you go, the harder scheduling gets because I think people start taking it for granted.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
I have a 10-year, 11-year. I need to Google this. When did Starfinder come out? When did Star? So, I've been playing Starfinder with the same group since like August 2017, I want to say. So not quite 10 years, but pretty close, like 8 years. And before the pandemic, we met up like every other Saturday at someone's house, and it was super easy. The pandemic started. We meet up like once every 3 months since then. And it's really tough. It's actually where I get my name from. My character was a clone because all my characters are always really similar. And so we always would joke like, oh, Jenny's making another like red-haired buff lady. And, she's got a type. And so when we were doing the Starfinder, which is sci-fi D&D, for those who I didn't mention it earlier for, I thought it would be fun to like talk to my DM on the side and be like, hey, I actually want to make a clone this time because that's a thing that this could be, right? Like she could be a clone. And so her batch was JN, right? She was the JN series, and she was number 14. So JN14, Jennifer. And so that was in the group chat after I fucked with Facebook because for a while, I mean, Facebook still lets you do this. You can change everyone's nicknames. But when it first started, no one realized that. And I went into our group chat and I changed everyone's nickname to someone else in the group chat. Almost caused a divorce. It's fine.
Wait, what? No, oh my god.
Yeah, it was one of those like pranks that like I found really funny until people like were getting really heated, and I was like, oh, okay. So then we changed all of our nicknames to our character, and so mine was Jenny, and everyone got so used to calling me Jenny that when I came out, it was just assumed that that's what I would go by, and I was like, yeah, I guess. Like I honestly did not have like a name picked out, so like yeah, Jenny works. Yeah, that's
Yeah, we love
D&D
that.
is great.
D&D
That's
is
awesome.
great. We love D&D. At one point we are gonna force Graham to play. Yeah.
Willingly, of course.
Yeah,
No.
for sure, willingly.
Graham, I'll chain you up in my basement until you play. It'll be fine.
Oh, great.
Yeah, don't look outside right now. There's no men in black suits coming in your door right now. It's okay. Everything's fine.
I mean,
Go with them.
look,
It's okay.
I think that would be a hilarious side episode to your podcast. Just Wetman plays D&D for the first time.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's the plan. That's the plan.
That is a plan. Yes. We definitely want to do that.
Yeah, so it'll be But if you haven't played D&D, highly recommend it. It's pretty cool. Or other games like it, like Pathfinder, Starfinder, all the finders, go find them. Go find your game. Yeah. Well, I think it's been a pretty good episode. For stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Wetman, do you have any events that are upcoming?
Women's League up at what's it called?
Choppers?
No, well that one, but
The Delaware one?
correct, the Delaware one.
Oh gosh, what's the Delaware one called?
Damn it, I knew what it is.
Facebook panic.
Who can get there first? Axe Lab. There it is. They're doing a women's, and then they're doing a 4th of July marathon. Sounds like depending on how many people they get for that 4th of July, depends how many matches they'll do, 20 or 28. But it's an outdoor arena, or venue, so that'll be fun.
It'll be hot in the water.
It will be. It could be really hot. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish a lot of the marathons weren't on holidays. I know that makes it easier for a lot of people, but for me, it just means that I just don't get to do a lot of them.
Agreed. Yeah. June 13th, the Friday, for the women's acts at Liquid Alchemy up in Delaware. Yeah. I don't think there's too much else. Chopper's Pride is having a TPS on Friday, June 27th. I know Nessa was putting that together. On as well.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, that will be a great time for anyone who's going, not me.
I think
I'll be working. So,
that's my convention. I was really hoping. Yeah, I was really hoping they'd be closer. I was like, they're both like they can't be that far apart. It's a 2-hour drive, so I'm not going to make it.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't have anything else really.
How do you not have anything else? You're forgetting the most important one. The biggest, most obvious, glaring one. The one that's right in front of your face.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Bye. And then we have the Urban Open.
Thank you. My goodness.
Yes, that is a great 3-day event here in Baltimore. Bring your pretty faces. I know we got some new out-of-towners we made friends with at other venues coming in, so that's going to be awesome. Yeah. Are you doing Choptober, Jenny, or is it too far out right now?
So anything like that is way too far out for me to think about, but also yes.
Okay. There we go.
Unless something else changes, yeah, I plan to do Choptober.
You plan to do it. Very cool. Very cool.
Are you doing
Flare gun?
I started asking you the question first.
You did.
Yeah, so are you gonna chop?
I don't know. I'll probably go there. We'll see. Then also we have the UK Open coming up.
Yes.
Right after the Urban Open. So that I will be participating in. So that's probably why I won't be doing Urban Open. Gotta save those pounds and cents.
Look, what are we gonna do without Wetman at the Urban Open?
Well, you're still gonna be there, right?
I'll still be there.
Yeah,
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 but I'm just
yeah.
not going to be throwing.
Right.
I'll be in heavy FOMO denial.
I mean, I get that, but also, you know, we need all the best Baltimore throwers at the Urban Open so that we
Very
have a
true.
chance to win this year.
Yeah.
Very true.
Last year, a lot of our heavy hitters got knocked out pretty early. So
Yeah, I think
Valid.
I'm pretty sure Russian Viking placed the highest and he placed 17th.
he did.
Yeah, from the Be More peeps. So, Be More peeps, I'm gonna call you guys out right now, motherfuckers. You know who you are, all right? If you're a gangbuster of a thrower, motherfuckers, you know it. Be More peeps, all right? You better fucking throw really well this fucking year, all right? We believe in you. This is encouragement and maybe also a threat. So, not really, but do it.
I think it should be a threat. You gotta end with like, if you don't, I'll break both your knees.
Oh, if you don't, I'll break both your Nico fucking kneecaps.
It'll
Yeah,
be Gucci.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That's the vibe we need this year. Just you sitting there with like a spiked bat while they're playing. Intimidate both them and their opponent.
Agreed.
You'd be like, I'm breaking someone's kneecaps. It doesn't matter whose. It's either going to be you because you lost or you because you won.
That's so real.
Exactly.
So real. Yeah.
So win-win?
It is a win-win. Maybe. Maybe also
For you it is.
maybe. I don't know. I might be in prison by the end of the weekend based on how this conversation's going.
That's what bail money is for. We'll get a GoFundMe. You'll be fine.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. Oh, you know what? You know what I'll make you do? I'll make you hand out the sticker goodie bags, Graham. So you'll have to hand
I'll
those
do that.
out.
I'll be happy to do that.
Yeah. There you go. It'll give you
Done.
a little job. Yeah.
And if I'm not doing it to your standards, you take out my knees because you'll be there ready.
No. Please note. Podcast listeners, watchers, whatever the fuck, there's no actual taking out of the kneecaps, please. As much as that might be fun, we can't for legal reasons. It's a joke.
Yeah, she's actually going for the shins.
No. Can't tell them the secret. No. Yeah, but I think that's a pretty good place to wrap up. Thank you so much for coming on this.
Yes, thank you, Jenny Beans.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun. Hopefully, you can use like AI or something to make me sound cooler.
That's Sam's department. I cannot help with that.
Look, I don't. All right, we can't. If we get into AI, I'm not gonna shut up because I don't like AI. AI, blah 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 blah. And most AI isn't
It's
even
an abomination.
It is. And then people don't even understand. They're like, this is AI. I'm like, no, that's a computer program that does things. That's not the actual AI. And I'm like, rah, rah, brainworms. Anyway, okay, we got yapping has to end. We've been yapping for almost 2 hours, so it's a longer episode. Hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment if you want. Let us know what you thought about IATC. We want to know what you think, what could be better, what you liked, if you went. How did you feel about the streams? Yay, nay, mediocre, artichoker, and then yeah. Also, remember, Graham, we switched the opening, so you have to start first. I mean the closing.
Why? The closing. You mean the closing? We already did an opening.
Yeah.
Because we are not axe murderers.
We're axe throwers. Yay! So good.
Yay.
Okay, bye.